Let's begin with breaking news from Turkey, where Recep Tayyip Erdogan has announced Ankara is approving Finland's bid to join NATO. The move comes after talks between Erdogan and his Finnish counterpart Sauli Niinisto in Ankara. The ratification will still formally need to pass through a vote in Turkey's parliament. Ankara's decision clears one of Finland's last hurdles, to joining the alliance. Hungary is now the only NATO member who has not approved the Nordic country's bid.
I believe that NATO, which I believe will become even stronger through Finland's membership, will play a more efficient role in preserving global security and stability. With the completion of the ratification process, our relationships with Finland will be fortified on the grounds of NATO alliance. Our discussions with Sweden will be maintained on the grounds of the principles of the alliance and our approach regarding counterterrorism.
It is surely for whole Finland very important. I just want to tell you that from our parliament, 95% of members of parliament said and voted last spring that we have to apply for membership. Now we have got an answer. Thank you. But we have a neighbor, Sweden, and what I now say is not only due to the fact that they are nice people and we have excellent relations with our neighborhood, but I have a feeling that Finnish NATO membership is not complete without Sweden. We have.
Our correspondent Dorian Jones joins me now from Istanbul. Dorian, a momentous occasion. Can you sum up what you heard listening into that press conference?
Well, indeed, this will be a momentous day for Finland. They have been for over a year now waiting to join NATO after receiving the overwhelming support for their application, but it has been held up by Turkey and Hungary over concerns. What Turkey says is their failures to deal with the terror problems that Turkey's faced. But President Erdogan said that following this agreement last summer with NATO, Finland and Turkey, that Finland had carried out all the aspects of that agreement, and Turkey was ready to admit Finland. Finnish President paid praise to the relationship between Finland and Turkey, and particular praise for President Erdogan for his relationship over the Ukrainian war, with close ties with the Ukrainian President and the Russian President, Vladimir Putin, saying he's probably the only person in the world, or certainly one of the few, that has contacts across the board and has successfully brokered a deal for grain to be distributed from Ukraine. And that will certainly be welcomed by Erdogan, who is in a very difficult election campaign when this meeting is taking place. So there was a great deal of warmness with both sides following this agreement, although there was this disappointment that Sweden, too, has not been agreed to join NATO as of yet by Turkey.
Dorian, what's the process from here? Finland have Turkey's tick. When can the Finns expect to get the official Turkish ratification from here?
Well, it should be a formality. I mean, President Erdogan's AKP party controls parliament, has an overwhelming majority, so ratification should be very quick. Although President Erdogan did seem to indicate a little bit of doubt, saying he said hopefully this will be ratified before the parliament closes for the elections in May. Now, quite what that possible delay could be is unclear, but I think there will be a little bit of concern in Finland over this, what appeared to be a formality. But if everything goes to plan, then there should be enough time in the next couple of weeks for Parliament to ratify, which is seen as a mere formality.
Sweden now, Dorian, is the clear and obvious exception here. Erdogan has significant reservations. Why is Erdogan okay to sign off on Finland to join but not Sweden?
Well, President Erdogan was very clear about this. He said that Finland and Swedish cases are very different. He said, while Finland has met all the parts of the agreement that was reached last summer between NATO and Turkey, they say Finland hasn't. They said Sweden still hasn't met all the criteria. In particular, Ankara's concern is that they say that Sweden is harboring various terrorist organizations that are fighting the Turkish state, the Kurdish Workers' Party, the PKK, which has been fighting for decades, and also a group that Turkey blames for a failed coup attempt against President Erdogan. And President Erdogan says that these terrorist groups are free to protest on the streets of Sweden, and he said that simply is unacceptable. And he also made it very clear. He said they had presented a list of 124 people that Turkey wanted extradited back to Turkey from Sweden. Now, Sweden insists this is purely a matter for the courts. They say their hands are tied, but Ankara says that's not good enough. They say they want to see action on the part of Sweden. So there doesn't appear to be any softening on Turkey's stance, at least until after the elections in May. Although there is also an element here that Turkey is possibly using the blocking of Sweden for concessions from Washington. Washington is very keen for Sweden to join, and Turkey is looking for concessions from Washington as part of any final agreement.
Dorian Jones, thank you.